Right. We are here with the famous Will. How's it going, bro?
It's going good, man.
Good
How
to
are you
see
doing?
Yeah, good man. Good to see you in person, man. Good to finally see you in
Yeah,
person.
exactly. I've been a client since what, like November time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's good to actually finally meet up.
Yeah, it
You
is,
know,
it is. We are somewhere in the UK. We don't want to tell them where exactly, essentially, but
so if you can figure it out from the background, you never know.
yeah, bro. But how are you? How's things going on your end?
It's going good, yeah. Right now we've been booking meetings quite consistently. More
Yeah,
than anything, just trying to attract good clients. I'd say LinkedIn for me has
yeah,
been the best platform for that.
yeah. But let's just forget LinkedIn for a minute. I just want to understand you as a person and stuff
Mm.
like that. So, where are you originally from? Obviously, you just turned 20, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
quite young. Yeah, cool. So yeah, where are you from, bro?
So I was born in Bradford. I moved
Mm,
to Leeds when I was about 12, and then I've gone to university in Sheffield,
yeah.
and then who knows where I'll go after
Yeah.
that.
What was you like at school? Like, did you enjoy school?
Uh, Not really. I'll be
Not
honest. Like
really.
it was one
Yeah.
of those things where it's just I never got too deep into it. I never liked revising or anything like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just messed about with it more than anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're currently at uni, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how are you sort of balancing university and you're working on the business too at the same time?
I'll be honest. Uni is somewhat been out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've just found it more so. I've been focused. Like I probably could balance uni and business if I really wanted to try to do so, but
Mm.
I've just found for me my passion really lies with trying to do the business, trying to like actually work. My balance is between Mackies and LinkedIn essentially right
Yeah.
now, more so in uni, and I'm gonna have to reset a couple of exams over summer. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. And then where do you get your like you're quite confident for your age and stuff.
Mm.
You speak very well. Like, is that something that you just naturally had, or is that something you built, or
It's a good question. I don't know really because everyone's always told me I've always been very independent. Like I grew up with my mum. I didn't really have many other people.
Mhm.
I think I just learned to be quite independent and
Mm.
well spoken by myself more than anything. I mean, my mum's always been quite well spoken as well.
Mhm.
It's not someone I really got it from. I think I've just had like a level of confidence and independence since I was young more than anything.
Yeah, because I say that because obviously communication is very important, and
Yeah, yeah,
if I had to go back to when I was 19, I'll definitely try and improve the way I communicate and articulate my thoughts to people
yeah,
and stuff like that. And I do know that you started with cold calling, right? And you like networking, you go to networking
yeah,
events,
yeah,
etc.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how's that been?
So cold calling that was when I was trying to go after like estate agents and
That's trenches, right?
yeah, yeah, it is because cold calling it's a game of just like DMs. You know, you've got to send out as much as possible. It's like a balance of your inputs. Whatever you input is going to be your outputs. But cold calling, the rejection feels so much harder because
Yeah,
you're on the phone with someone. They'll pick up the phone and they'll just be like, "Not interested, bye," or you'll get hit straight over like a gatekeeper being like, "Oh, I can pass on a message to the owner, but he's not here." So
yeah,
it is literally the trenches,
yeah,
and so and with networking, I'd never really thought I was gonna go like networking events or anything. But when I was first trying to find what I wanted to do in terms of like what I'm gonna do for my social media agency, originally it was gonna be like Instagram and Facebook ads
yeah, yeah.
for like trying to find motivated sellers for properties essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I went to networking events. I realized deal sources exist. They need investors, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I try LinkedIn?
Hmm.
As I was like, after that, I just got into LinkedIn, and obviously, even with any sort of social media agency, you're gonna need to do sales calls.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you need to build up a level of confidence, speaking well, not stuttering over your words
yeah.
when you do that. So it's a skill that you need to get down, having that level of confidence and just I don't know the right word, conviction within yourself.
Sure.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And was there like a pinnacle moment in your life, or like a certain day where you was like, "Fuck this! I want to start a business"? Because for myself, I had that moment where I was at home. I'm gonna tell my story one day, not yet. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put it on my
Yeah.
YouTube. Where I was at home, like feeling sorry for myself, and obviously, I'm an athlete, and I didn't have a club at the time, and I was like, I need to do something in my life. And
Yeah.
all my mates were playing on Saturday. I was feeling sorry for myself, and I was like, shit, I need to do something here. Was there a moment in your sort of young life so far where he's like, fuck this, I need to.
You know what? The best way I put it is I see so many videos about go to Thailand, it's this, it's that. You know, it was me wanting to go to Thailand
Yeah.
and people saying run an online business and stuff like that. And you know, I was like, why not? I was a reseller before I was doing this. I've always sort of had that like entrepreneurial spirit within myself.
Yeah. That
Since
word's hard to come out.
yeah, it is.
Entrepreneur. Agreed.
But yeah, like I was a reseller before this, but I always wanted to do something a lot more digitally. One of my friends has been running an agency since we were both in sixth form, and seeing that, and then seeing he got to travel the world, seeing people say like even like Iman Gadzhi, stuff like that. All the people everyone recognizes now. I'd watched and I was like, you know what? I somewhat understand this. I get social media to an extent. Why don't I spend all my life scrolling on Reels and TikTok anyways?
Yeah.
Why do I use that? I remember someone saying, "Don't be a consumer, be a creator."
Yes.
And I was like, you
Amen
know
to that.
what? Yeah, why not? I'll try something. So then from there, I was like, I'd had the idea of doing something with social media for quite a while, but I was scared to execute it. Almost like I had the fear of burning a client and getting my ads wrong, because I was going to start with ads. So I had the idea, just not the execution for quite a while. And I think it was May last year where I was like, you know what? I need to just take this seriously. Like, there's never going to be a better age for me to really pursue this and go all in on it than 19. And that's when it started developing a bit more. I started doing more with like automations. I just never knew what to do for a niche or anything like that, or even what I wanted to offer.
Yeah.
And then I kind of took a bit of a break over summer, and then I met my friend in Tenerife, and he was like, Will, you need to just get cold calling. So when I went back to cold calling, I was doing 100 dials a day to realtors in America.
Nice.
And then they weren't picking up. When they did pick up, they're like, "Are you British?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I don't want to hear from you," essentially.
Yeah.
So from there, I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Slightly started to pivot. Then as I was pivoting, I was like, you know what, I'm going to be on LinkedIn. And I said to my friend, I need to find a mentor. And then that same night, I stumbled across your YouTube video. It was genuinely like a weird fit almost.
Did you search something in particular, or did I just come across? Did I just come on your feed?
You'd come up in my recommendations. I must have watched a couple of videos on what to do for LinkedIn, how to send out connection requests properly, all that sort of stuff, trying to learn a bit more about the platform. So YouTube must have picked up on the fact I was a bit interested in LinkedIn. You just popped up on my recommendations saying to me like, how I book X amount of calls, or some video like that.
Yeah.
And I watched, in fact, I clicked it. I skimmed through and I was like, this guy's making sense. I didn't really even watch it too much, but I was like, I'll just book a call. Why not?
Yeah.
And
that's sorry to cut you off. That's another
sorry.
thing. It's like, because people think when they're starting a business, they're not going to generate clients or they're not going to sign clients. I only had a couple hundred subscribers.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It's honestly, if you're just spitting out, good content and you are sort of an expert in your field. I wouldn't call myself an expert. I got a good understanding how to use LinkedIn.
Yeah.
People are going to want to work with you, despite the fact if you have 200 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers. So, yeah, man.
If anything, I think it almost benefits you being smaller, because if you're giving out content, it's like, this guy's not like clickbaiting or anything like that. He's actually showing up. He's got a clear niche. He wants to just give value. And the majority of YouTubers I watch who are actually giving out good value and probably converting, I've like 2.5k subs or something like that.
Yeah.
I think YouTube is probably one of the better platforms for having a small following, but still being able to convert.
Yeah, exactly. And it's what, the second most searched?
Yeah, I think TikTok will probably be the first, but William Brown, he never posts on TikTok or Reels or anything, and he said he'll only get clients from YouTube because he doesn't want short form people. YouTube, people watching your content for 20 minutes, they're going to be much warmer than someone who's watched it for 20 seconds.
Absolutely, that's why a lot of my videos are quite long form.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
100%.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So from what you were saying, you was trying like different businesses, and that you essentially found the one what you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
How many businesses did you try until you found? Why did you think this one was a good one now for you to scale?
It's a good question. So I used to be a Vinted reseller when I was like 15, 16.
Nice.
I used to like just buy clothes cheaper, sell them for more, that sort of thing. And then I moved on to being like an actual shoe reseller. So I used to get like Jordan 4s at like I was big into Jordans.
Jordan
at that
4s
age.
or Jordan 1s.
Yeah, exactly. And then I had a page there. It was like MK Resells or something like that. And I'd scaled that not a fair bit. Like I was just known in Leeds for like oh, he sells shoes, because it was
Okay.
me and my friend running it.
Nice.
And then, but it just weren't really going anywhere crazy, and the market was starting to drop. It was like when Nike was starting to just blast out tons of pairs of Jordans, increase supply. There was no demand when like the supply outweighs the demand, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm gonna brush that.
Yeah.
And then from that, so that's the first two. And then originally, what I run now is Carecraft Media, and that's the actual marketing side of things. Originally, it was Carecraft Systems.
Great. I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. Before I started working with you, started doing this in particular, it was Carecraft Systems because I wanted to get into automation side of things for AI and automations. I'd started like Go High Level, trying to get an understanding of that. And that's transferred, Go High Level was transferred back into my business now. So it was good that I started out with Go High Level.
Yeah.
But then I just never found a niche. I never knew who to target. I just didn't know what I was doing when it was that. And then it got to like September, and this wasn't really a business, it was more so an idea. And I'd seen a TikTok saying, oh, you should, if you're a young student and you want something to do to make a side hustle, you should get your phone, just call up all the student lets and take a video there and just do that as your service. And I was like, well, I've got a gimbal, like the same way you've got a tripod there.
Yeah.
I have a gimbal, so it's all stable, it's all nice.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got nothing to lose, I'm just sat here anyways.
Mhm.
Why don't I do that? I put in as many inquiries into properties without videos as possible. They'd all call me back, all the letting agents, being like, "Are you looking to rent this out?" And I'm like, "No, I'm looking to film a video for you." But just like 80% of them just hung up on me, and then but 20% of them, like not even 20%. I had 2 paying clients for this, and I went over, I filmed, and one of the women where I'd filmed a video for it, I was speaking to her about how much she's making from this property. She was like, "Oh yeah, so it's 6 beds, and each bedroom £600 a month." So I was like, £3,600. There's no like, and in Sheffield, the properties aren't exactly expensive.
Yeah.
It's not like London price or Manchester price sort of thing.
Yeah.
But so I was like, "Look, she must be making a good profit." So I was like, surely there's gonna be more people who want more marketing for their student lets, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
What I started going like networking events, start going to like being on LinkedIn, because I imagined I'm not going to reach people as easily on Instagram and Facebook, whereas I felt like LinkedIn, I knew it had like quite specific targeting. I had more of a business professional sort of side to it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll hop on LinkedIn. And then from there, I'd realised I'm not going to go down this route because I want to work a remote job. I don't want to work something where it's requiring me to go into places, film it. I want something where I can, instead of being here, I could be in Spain, I could be in Thailand, I could be anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll do something. I'll go back to the original route, social media. And after going to these networking events, speaking to people, I found there was a real gap where people were looking for investors, but they just didn't know how to position themselves in the right way. Organically, if you go to networking events, everyone can speak to each other.
Yeah.
It's easy to get to know yourself, get to know people, but
It's not scalable, is it?
no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn is like one big networking.
Yeah.
It's literally
platform.
the biggest B2B platform in the world.
Absolutely.
So it's like one big networking group or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just try it on there? And then stumbled across you, like I said.
Yeah.
And we got here. So what's that? Like 4 or 5 businesses?
Yeah.
Before I got to the one I'm at right now.
Yeah. That's not even just business, it's life. Like you just you got to keep going until you figure out something. You know, all the billionaires and people that have had successful businesses, you have to, you keep trying. And the only way you're not going to succeed is if you give up.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? This is probably not going to be the last business I run.
Yeah.
I mean, I might delve further into property, do my own developments, do my own investing sort of thing. It's not about sort of where you're at, it's where you're heading. And like I said, as long as you don't give up, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, exactly. And so from the time when you jumped on LinkedIn to the time where you booked a call with me and asked for help, how long was that? Was that straight away? Was that, okay, let me just figure this out myself and then I'm going to
I think about a month.
Okay.
About a month, yeah.
Which is fair enough. Yeah. And did you make progress a little bit on LinkedIn before working with me?
Jumping on LinkedIn, I networked with this one guy from Sheffield who he had a bunch of HMOs, so that's housing multiple occupants, people that can host like multiple different people instead of like one single let essentially. And I was like, "Oh, do you want me to film a video for you?" He goes, and I showed him some proof like what I'd done in the past. He was like, "I don't need it right now, but if you're looking to network with more people like that, you should come down to his networking event." And I went in there and I was like, "Oh my god, I might as well shut my pants." It was honestly, it was so scary because I was like 19 at the time. I'm only 20 now, and it's not been too long since then. But I'd never been in a room where I'd like, they say be the youngest in the room, but you don't realize how scary that is until you actually are.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of people with 20 years experience in this field, and I'm sat there like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I want to do here, but I need to be here.
But you need to be here.
Yeah. And then from there, I kept doing more research about the property market, found out about deal sources and I knew about developers, but sources. That's someone who they'll find a good profitable investment for an investor. They need the deals on this side, and they need the investors on this side. So originally I was going to cater just to them.
Yeah.
And run Facebook ads for them to get the deals, and then run LinkedIn for them, or run Instagram and Facebook, and build up their credibility on those platforms to actually get the investors. And then I was just like, LinkedIn's the biggest, like, as I've said previously, it's the biggest B2B platform.
Yeah.
Why not just be on here? And then
amazing. And obviously, you've been going to quite a lot of networking events, right?
Yeah,
You know, way more than me. I've not really been doing networking events. My networking event is LinkedIn. How powerful is like in-person networking events at such a young age? Like only God knows, you know, by the time you turn in your late 20s, the amount of like skills and how to network you're going to build. But yeah, how powerful is it, would you say?
I'd say first of all, I've not been to as many as I should have. I should have gone to. Honestly, I regret not going to more, and that's because I think while you're young, going to a like networking event and just being, it's such a vulnerable thing to do in my eyes, because you go in there knowing you're not there to give value. You're kind of there just to receive it.
Yeah.
And actually just putting yourself out there, ready to sort of soak in what's around you. It puts you in a vulnerable position, but it'll make sure you go there with intent. When I went there, I just spoke to people. They was like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I just film videos." And then, but I met people. I've stayed in contact with people from the first everyone I've been to. Now that I go to them in Sheffield, because I built up quite a network of people in property in Sheffield, I'd say that's been beneficial. I remember there's this one event. It's called Property and Poppadoms. I think I went there maybe December or January time, and nobody really knew me there. Obviously, the woman who runs it, she knew me. And then fast forward, it's April now, so I just went to the one in April, and I genuinely, no word of a lie, multiple people come up to me and be like, "You're that guy off LinkedIn, aren't you?"
Really?
I'm not even joking. Genuinely, yeah. I had at least 5 or 10 people recognize me off LinkedIn.
Wow.
And bear in mind, I went to an event. To be fair,
the riches are in the niches, guys.
Yeah. To be fair, I went to an event, and it was a woman called Rochelle Gilburn. She was speaking about LinkedIn and about marketing, because she's a deal sourcer on LinkedIn. She's got 22,000 followers. She's doing really well for herself off the platform, on Facebook, on Instagram. She markets herself as someone who trains people on LinkedIn. So this whole event was her teaching people about LinkedIn. And part of me, and this was a big sort of internal battle. It was like, do I go there and feel sort of like I'm not that guy? And I was like, you know what? Who am I to like let that get in the way? I'm kind of letting my ego get in the way of myself if I don't go there. At the end of the day, I'm not the best at what I do. Not yet. Maybe one day I may not be. I think I've still got a good understanding of what goes on the platform. But who am I to like let myself not be educated further by someone in my niche? So I was like, you know what? I'll just go. Why not? And then when I went, genuinely, I was
going to by yourself.
Yeah, by myself. I've never had like friends my age who go to like networking events.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Normal. It's to be expected. But yeah. And I went, and no word of a lie, genuinely, I was gonna make a post about it, I just forgot to. But I genuinely had like at least 5 people, like the owners of the event, came up to me, and like Nick, he was like, "Oh well, I've been seeing what you've been doing on LinkedIn. That's really good." I was like, "Oh, thank you." I put my coat down, went downstairs, get a drink, and then this girl, she was like, "We spoke on LinkedIn," and I was like, "Have we?" And I felt really.
Was it me? Was it Claire?
I felt really bad, and I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, I see you on LinkedIn all the time." And then this other guy called Nick, another guy called Nick actually, come up to me and being like, "Oh, Will, I see you smashing it on LinkedIn." The woman who was speaking at the event, she was like, "Oh, LinkedIn." Like everyone really sort of saw me and was like, "Oh, LinkedIn." Like that's powerful. The association with me.
Powerful.
That's now my sort of personal brand.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay, cool. Let's let's talk more about LinkedIn, like clients and stuff like that.
Mm.
I know you've signed quite a few clients working with me. How many have you in total?
So I think in total the amount of clients I've signed is about 7 or 8 now.
7 or 8 now, yeah.
I've had a bit of churn, like a
Yeah.
slight bit of churn, but that
Which
was
happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can't expect to not lose clients some of the time.
But yeah, let's just tell anyone watching this, like, just the reality of like signing clients. Like, some can be, especially when you're just starting out like yourself, and you need to just take on all the clients. You can't pick and choose when you're starting. Obviously, some of the clients you've had is really, really good.
Yeah.
Some have been an absolute headache.
Well, I kind of somewhat disagree with what you're gonna say there. I do think
Okay.
you know what, be there, take on the clients, even if it's not exactly a dream client,
Sure.
but also don't fully let yourself settle for less. Like, be prepared to again
Absolutely.
be as vulnerable as possible and just take on what's there if it's right, but also don't be afraid to say no to the wrong opportunities. Some people, they'll see you fresh face in a new industry and they'll see, I'm going to slightly take advantage, I'm going to underpay him, I'm going to overwork him.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you want to underpromise and overdeliver, but some people, if you're not careful, especially when starting a new business, when they see a new person, they see an easy target
Yeah.
almost, where things aren't going to be perfect ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're just going to ask a lot and a lot and a lot. And that's, I don't think it's bad, essentially, but I think you've just got to be prepared to take on work that you're not going to be exactly comfortable with when you're starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then those 8 clients that you're working with now, what would you say is like the main reason why they decided to work with you? Like, what's the main reason why they paid you and you're working with them, for the audience to,
That's a really good question, because I think I've always kept a very strict niche of like sources and developers. I don't really
Yeah.
work with anyone else. I sometimes have some inbound leads come to me from like not developers and sources, but still in the like property world. They might be like private equity. I've got one of my clients who is a private equity client, but I think because people have seen, I've made it very clear. I work with X, I help with Y, and I help them achieve Z. So having that message out there and having that through my content, having that through my outreach, having that across the board, my value proposition being very clear.
Mhm.
I'm not appealing to everyone. I'm appealing to maybe 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And because of that, those 10,000 people, they'll value what you've got to say more
Yeah.
because you've tailored it to them.
Yeah.
You've kept it. You know, I'm not just another LinkedIn guru. I'm not going to call myself a guru at all, anyways. But I'm someone who specialises in working with property developers, property
Yeah.
sources, helps them book appointments with investors.
Yeah. It's like, even obviously I help people on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But you help people on LinkedIn in a specific niche. They're not gonna. I mean, they might take in what I'm saying, but not as much as you, because you're already working with
Yeah,
that specific industry.
Exactly, and that's the thing. For you, it's more like coaches and consultants and just people on LinkedIn in general. Like, some people say LinkedIn in general is a niche, and I slightly disagree with that. I think that, if, like you said, riches are in niches. So you niche down, not as much as possible where your TAM is like 2 people and one's in England, one's in America. But
Yeah.
also just get it to a point where there's comfortable amount of people, but those people, the high ticket, they're going to value what you've got to say, and your message, you can create a message that's going to land with them specifically.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. And then, just in terms of, I mean, let's just wrap this up. What's the goal now? Like, just to keep scaling? Is it to, and just on a personal note too, like, to potentially like move away, quit uni? Like, what's the goal with
Yeah,
heading?
that's a good question. So the goal, more than anything, leave McDonald's. I think more than anything right now, it's there as just like a crutch because it's so flexible.
Yeah.
If I'm even working 1-2 hours
You could
a week,
leave right now if you
I
wanted to.
could leave right now, but it's good like working 1-2 shifts a week, gets me out the house, see people I know, and you make an extra 100-200 quid sort of thing.
Get some free fries too.
Yeah, exactly. I get my employee discount, which is probably the best part of this, best part of working there.
Yeah.
But the next thing I'd say for me is scale. I don't want to say hit those like 10-20k months. Like, obviously shoot the stars, you land on the moon at the end of the day. But I want to. It's not just about the money for me. I think more than anything, I want to create a lifestyle for myself.
Yeah.
Like, even being where we are right now, I love this. To be my life here, an office here,
Yeah.
or just be able to go out the country whenever I want. Like I said, the main reason I even started running a digital business was for the digital aspect.
Yeah.
There's, you know, nomad communities in like Koh Samui, Thailand, Marbella, Spain,
Mhm.
all these places. And I just think, while we're so young, why not create something which allows us to do what we really want to do?
Yeah.
Which is, and work's not the be all end all of life. I think work is an important part of life.
Yeah.
And if you don't have something you're working towards, you're probably not progressing in life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I want to create something bigger than just a business. I want to create a life not just for myself, but for my family, for my girlfriend,
Mhm.
everything. So, yeah, it's just about keeping all that in mind and scaling for that, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I always say I'd rather make £5,000 a month working by myself, working remote, doing what I want, than making literally 15,000 in a normal job where I have to wake up and someone's telling me you can only eat for an hour and you got to come in at this time, and if you don't do this, like you're gone. Like, I'm not, bro. That's
Yeah.
not the life that I personally want.
No, I completely agree with the fact I
Yeah.
can wake up, I can go to gym, come back, make some like beef and eggs, something like that. I
Yeah.
can do life by my own sort of flexible accord. I think that's something that if you work in a 9 to 5, and I'm not going to put someone working in a 9 to 5 down, but I think it's something you just won't get. That level of flexibility of, okay, today I'm going to come to Manchester, I'm going to meet my mentor. I'm not going to just sit inside, do
Yeah.
work all day.
Mhm.
I've got my VA that can help with that.
Mm.
And I
And it-
think,
Yeah,
yeah,
you got like the team's working right now as
yeah,
we're doing
yeah,
this.
exactly.
It's not like-
As we're speaking, Claire's been messaging me saying like, oh, this person might want to book an appointment.
Yeah.
So just having,
leverage.
yeah, leverage. I think having a VA is the biggest level of leverage you can get, really. And just having that team that will put in the work when you're not there at the front lines, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. And just one last thing, like any advice, you're young, you're doing very well, you got your whole life ahead of you, you're going to be very successful. I can just tell the mindset. I don't come across a lot of like 19, 20-year-olds
Yeah.
have the mindset like you. Any advice to anyone, young or old, in terms of business and networking? I don't know, because
My advice to anyone in general, just keep it pushing. Like, at the end of the day, it's going to work out only if you give it enough time to let it work out.
Yeah.
Some people might have thought, oh, I'll scale to this point by this point. Things happen at the end of the day. You can't really control what's going to happen. You could put in all the work for 6 months, and then by that 6 month point, nothing comes from it. But then you stuck it out one day extra. You never know. Like 10 clients you thought were going to come, never came. Come tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's literally just about putting them reps in, building that mental muscle of grit, resilience sort of thing. Just keep grinding. Yeah, that's all I've got to really say to the audience. Keep grinding.
Brother, thank you, man. Guys, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If this video gets 50 likes, we'll do a part 3 in, I don't know, 6 months.
If it gets 100 likes, I'll do an ice bucket challenge on Josh.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it gets 100 likes, I'll go to the States and do a in-person interview with one of my, other clients again. So,
and fly me out.
Yeah. All right, guys. Peace.
Take care. That was pretty good, actually.